Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Super Bowl 101 post-game show uh, for Super Bowl 57. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs take Super Bowl 57 with a 38 to 35 win over the Philadelphia Eagles at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Patrick Mahomes had three touchdowns in the game and also became, for the first time, Super Bowl MVP. They come back from 10 points down at halftime. They came back from 10 points down at halftime. Excuse me. The Chiefs scored touchdowns on each of their first three possessions of the second half to claim a 38 to 35 victory over the Philadelphia Eagles. In doing so, the Chiefs become the second team in NFL history to come back from a double-digit halftime deficit to win the Super Bowl. Kansas City quarterback Patrick Mahomes also became the first player since Kurt Warner in 1999 to win NFL MVP and lead his team to a victory in the Super Bowl. Uh, Mahomes was simply spectacular uh, in the second half, completing 13 of 15 passes for 93 yards, two scores, while adding a crucial 26-yard scramble on what would eventually become the game-winning drive. The newly crowned NFL MVP completed three touchdowns for 182 yards, three touchdowns, and rushed six times for 44 additional yards. Each of Mahomes' touchdown passes went to different receivers, with tight end Travis Kelce grabbing an 18-yard score on the Chiefs' first possession of the game. Wide receivers Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore found the end zone in the second half with a first half fumble return touchdown, serving as Kansas City's other entry into the end zone. For the Eagles, quarterback Justin Hurts was nearly marvelous uh, as Mahomes throughout the game. He became just the second player in NFL history to rush for three or more touchdowns in a Super Bowl, and uh, and he added a fourth score through the air on the evening. He completed 27 of 38 passes for 304 yards and a touchdown, while 15 carries for 70 yards plus three scores. Philadelphia settled for a field goal on one of its second half possessions and punted on another that gave Kansas City the opening it needed to stage a comeback. And that's not a way you beat the Chiefs, that's for sure. Uh, the two best throughout teams throughout the season who ended up in the uh, who ended up as the number one seeds in their respective conferences. Uh, the Chiefs and the Eagles treated us to an all-time classic Super Bowl with two phenomenal offenses performing at an extraordinary high level throughout. It came it came all the way down to the wire, with Mahomes leading his team to a victory at the conclusion of a decisive drive in crunch time as Harrison Butker drilled a 40-yard field goal with 8 seconds remaining to put KC on top by the final margin and lead them to a victory over the Eagles. Well, KC, I mean, the Eagles just they left Mahomes open way too many times, and they settled for a couple of field goals, but they just could not stop Mahomes, and they had several turnovers as well, and that's what cost you the game. But They gave us this was one of the most memorable Super Bowls ever, and I have to tip my hat to the Kansas City Chiefs and head coach Andy Reid and quarterback Patrick Mahomes, the third, on a thrilling come from behind victory. What a game. But I also want to tip my hat to the Philadelphia Eagles for a great dominating season. And even though they didn't win the Super Bowl, they still had a great, dominating, phenomenal season. So this was by far one of the most memorable Super Bowls ever in the history of the Super Bowl. So I got to tip my hat to the Kansas City Chiefs, the 2022 Super Bowl champions. And I have one more announcement that I want to announce because this post game show podcast is a very special one because the final one I did was my 799th podcast. That's segment 6 of my Super Bowl 101 pregame show. But this post game show just happens to be my 800th podcast. And I am just so grateful that I've been able to do all of these 800th podcasts the past 5 years. And I hope you'll continue to watch Scott Sports 101. I hope you continue, and I hope I get more subscribers as well. But I hope you continue to watch the podcast for all the 52 subscribers that I have, because they're going to just get even better. And I can't believe that this is my 800th podcast of Scott Sports 101, with being my Super Bowl 101 podcast. So on that note, I just want to say thank you to my 52 subscribers and all of you who have followed and watched my podcast since I started this, my YouTube channel, Scout Sports 101, back in 2017. So I appreciate it, and I hope that you all will continue to watch. And this has been a great football season, and I'll look forward to football again next season when the NFL regular season, the preseason and the regular season get underway. But I will have NFL news on my regular podcast, so don't you worry. But the 2022 NFL football season is in the books. So now we'll be focusing on the NBA and Major League Baseball, but there will be from time to time some NFL news. So keep that in mind. So with that being said, what a season. Let's look ahead to the 2023 NFL football season. And boy, what a thrilling, memorable Super Bowl 57. One of the most memorable Super Bowl games and the most fun to watch in Super Bowl history by far. And I will never forget this one. And once again, I tip my hat to both teams, but especially the Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. And I tip my hat to them wholeheartedly because they do deserve it. They deserve the Vince Lombardi trophy. And Patrick Mahomes, he does deserve MVP. And congratulations also to Cleveland Heights, Ohio native Travis Kelce as well, because he was on Kansas City on that championship team. And I tip my hat to his brother, Jason Kelce, of the Philadelphia Eagles as well. So what a game, and we'll look forward to football again next season. And I lost on the last pick. I took Philly, and they lost 38-35, so I lost on that one. But all in all, I had a great season. So, because I did not count this one, and so I went 11-5-3 on this season. And my brother-in-law Eric Hoyle went 6-10-3 on the season. So the NFL 2022 NFL season and so the NFL picks of the week are in the books as well. besides the NFL season being in the weeks, and we'll start doing them when the regular season starts next season. So that is just about going to wrap it up for the Super Bowl 101 post-game show, excuse me, post-game show. And I'll be back with my regular Scott Sports 101 podcast, another podcast this week. So until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day and every way possible. So long, everybody. The Kansas City Chiefs, the 2022 Super Bowl champions. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.